this is it, guys. We just finished the Green Gully trek, made it back to Cedar Creek Lodge where a hot shower was waiting for us, and it's bliss. I feel a lot more fresher than I did when we arrived. Feel a bit sore on our feet, had a couple of blisters, but
yeah, got some sore hips, got some sore knees.
It
We'll
was
be feeling it the next few days.
definitely worthwhile. Our last day, we smashed through it pretty quickly.
We did. We smashed through it.
Give us some
5
stats.
hours. Yeah, 5 hours and 35 minutes, which is super quick. What's the recommended time?
Recommended time is 7.5 hours.
Yeah, so
we-
that was pretty solid.
pretty solid. I think a few of the reasons, definitely the weather. We saw it taking a turn. We had beautiful, stunning, sunny weather the last 3 days. This morning was quite overcast, and we could see the rain rolling in. I think that was one of the reasons why we just went like go, 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 go.
Yeah, so the last hour we had like a light mist, definitely not heavy like this. So I think we were just like gung-ho just to get back here and stay dry, and yeah, so we left at 7:40 a.m. and then we got here at 1:15 p.m. and
Just ready for lunch, really.
yeah, pretty much. So we didn't have lunch on the trail, we had lunch here.
Yeah. Overall,
Oh, cool. So overall, I actually did some numbers from our Garmin's. Total hiking time was 15 hours and 31 minutes. That's total hiking time, not accumulative, because obviously that was over 4 days. And distance was 62.83 kilometers, which is pretty close to the 65 kilometer, what's noted on the track.
yeah.
So
And
Yeah.
now, give me some insight. What are some of your highlights of the track?
ooh, highlights.
Or
Maybe
favorite day as well.
okay. I think that for me, the favorite day was definitely day 2. So day 2 was without a doubt the most challenging. It wasn't the most challenging because of distance, it was the most challenging because of conditions and terrain. The descent is pretty agonizing. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know. I just thought
It's so steep.
for me
it's so
personally.
steep. But
day
wait, you asked me what my favorite was.
Yeah, no, go
Yeah,
ahead.
it's so crazy steep, but I think I loved it so much because it really gave you a good understanding of the elements and how out of control, how we have little control over them with the high winds and the viewpoints, and the terrain changed quite a bit as well from the peak all the way to the base. The terrain was quite different. So super challenging, but I like a good challenge, so day 2 is definitely my favourite. And
Yeah.
you?
For me, day 2 definitely not my favorite. I thought the downhill that you enjoyed, for me personally, was torture. You really feel it in your knees. There was one part I kind of slipped and I even landed on my bum, and trying to get up with your 15 kilo pack on the back, definitely not an easy task.
Yeah, which would also just side note too that we hadn't mentioned before. I'm carrying but it was about 15.8 kilos, and you were about 15.5.
Yeah, just over 15. So
Yeah.
I've got a 46 litre pack, you've got a 48 litre
48.
pack.
Yeah.
Yeah, so was just enough in size.
Yeah.
Obviously, it gets easier as you
Progress.
progress, because you lose a few things, especially
Yeah.
food items.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely good size, I'd say.
Yeah. So your favourite day?
My favorite day, not day 2. My favorite day was day 3. I enjoyed the creek crossings. I didn't count. I think we attempted to count them at the beginning, but
We
then
got to 9 and then we're like, yeah, this ain't
Yeah,
gonna happen.
just not gonna happen. I thought it was challenging at the beginning because it was quite cold in the morning when we left. There was frost on the grass.
Yeah, it
Even-
was cold.
Even a bit of water froze that we left in the sink
Sink.
the night before. You could see like an icy layer on it. So definitely off to a chilly start. But as the day progressed, I enjoyed it, and I actually felt that the water was kind of a bit of a relief on the feet after all
Yeah.
this walking.
It was also the easiest day because it was just flat.
Yeah.
But even though it was flat, and how many Ks was that, do you remember? Was that
It's
day 6 or day 6?
it's only day
15.33
15.
kilometres, so 15 kilometres.
15, yeah.
But it's a slow 15, it's so slow.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to be so careful crossing the creek.
No, sorry, we got it wrong. 13.5 kilometers.
Okay, but we did do 15.
We did do 15.
Yeah.
Yeah. We did talk about it earlier.
Yeah.
Bit of a detour, anyway.
So, but yeah, it's a slow crossing.
Slow crossing. So that was my highlight. The huts that we stayed in, what are your thoughts?
They're absolutely phenomenal. They're just so awesome. Like, they're so well maintained by parks. You've got everything you need. Like, there's gas, so good for cooking. You have 2 hours for the lights. That worked in all cabins except one, so that definitely slowed us down.
Yeah.
The facilities are really, really awesome. Like, I'm actually really impressed.
I'm super impressed.
It's so awesome to come home to that after doing those really hectic days hiking, especially in those conditions where the sun's just smashing down on us and we're exhausted.
Agreed. So yeah, great to see that the huts also survived the recent bushfires that we had here in Australia.
True.
You can see it as you conquer the track. If you look around, you see how the bushfires just raveled through it. There's a lot of regrowth on the trees, a lot of green come through. You can see the impact on the wildlife. We've only seen a few wallabies and a few birds. I'm not a bird expert, but some beautiful colourful ones. And compared to reading some of the previous year's visitors' entries in the books, who've seen
a lot more wildlife and diversity of wildlife as well.
Yeah.
And I was saying to Susie earlier that it was really clear that you could see in the area that we were and just looking out to the mountains, the clear direction of wind that carved through with the fires, because there's sections that are just totally obliterated and then sections that have been totally untouched. So there's very clear-cut paths of damage. And there definitely has been a lot of rejuvenation, but it's still got a long way to go.
Absolutely. So we talked about the pack, the huts, the trail, our favourite parts. It's what we came back with.
Yeah,
Rubbish.
So that's what we came back with. That's one bag, or the other way around, but that's my bag, that's Susie's bag.
That's my bag.
That's 4 days worth of rubbish. You said you were impressed by that?
I was impressed by the fact that you can fit it in a small bag, and it's fairly easy to carry your stuff back out.
Yeah.
But then again, like you said, it is an eye-opener with how much rubbish you actually can you create in a way just from eating. Really.
That's definitely an eye-opener. That's a lot of plastic. That's a lot of foil that is none of it's going to biodegrade. It's just going to go into landfill. So that's really, really eye-opening for me. That was probably one of the biggest eye-openers of biggest eye-openers of the trip. Yeah.
Any things that you would do different?
There are a couple of things I would do different. So we came a bit underprepared. I thought we were really prepared, but we came underprepared when it came to fire. So we didn't come with fire starters, and we didn't have matches. We had a lighter and also the jet boil. So we had two forms of gas lighting.
That's true.
We were lucky to be gifted the fire starters and the matches, and to be honest, without those, I don't think we would have had a fire going.
Yeah, especially with the dampness at night time. Once again, we're doing the trek in winter, so it does get quite cold. The fire or the timber that you have at the huts in order to make your own fire, it can be quite damp, so it really takes time to actually get a fire going.
Yeah, the first 2 nights we just couldn't, the fire just wouldn't hold.
Yeah.
The last 2 nights we had the best fire.
I think you experienced it.
Yeah, I think by that time I kind of worked it out, but really though, like the timber, even though it wasn't damp to look at, there was obviously some kind of dampness in the centre where it just wouldn't kind of catch. So the last night was the best because I had a fire going all the way from what time?
Oh, from like 5:30?
5:30 all the way through to 10:30 p.m. So we fell asleep with that fire blazing, which is awesome.
Yeah. Any other things you would change? That was just kind of the key.
No,
things.
that's kind of it. You?
Yeah. No, I think I'm quite happy with what we've packed. Obviously, we did a bit of research, making sure we take what we need. Really.
Yeah, I don't think that There are very few things that I would remove from my bag. Maybe my shorts. Like, there's not much. You?
Yeah. No, quite happy with what I've packed.
Yeah, we came back with like enough food for a day.
Yeah,
So, but for me, that's a buffer, and that's kind of an emergency, and I'm comfortable with that.
I'm comfortable with that too. And it wasn't heavy. It was just like a pack of oats and a few
Some
snacks,
fruits,
a bit of
some trail mix. Yeah, enough to get you through a day if there was an emergency.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool.
Last thing?
Last thing. This is not our hat. This belongs to Matthew. Tell the story.
Matthew, we ran into Matthew on the trail, and he seemed really beaten up that he had left his hat at
Green Gully Hut.
Green Gully Hut. So there were 3 days between our groups.
Yeah, so the first 10 kilometers of the Green Gully track is a bit of a crossover between the first and the last group because you repeat that part of the track.
That's right.
So when we started the track, we ran into the 4 guys finishing up the track. And Matthew was quite devastated and said he forgot his hat at Green Gully Hut and asked if we could pick it up.
And there it was hanging inside the hut, like it kind of belonged, really.
Yeah, so no
it just
one
blended in.
It did.
So Matthew will return your hat to you in Epping.
We'll bring it back.
And we look forward to our reward. No, just joking. It's for the love.
Yeah. So yeah, I think we're ready to cook up our steaks that we've been looking forward to all
we need
day.
some serious rest.
Rest up before we get back home tomorrow. But yeah, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed our bit of an insight into the Green Gully track, our experience. Maybe a few takeaways for you if you want to do it, but highly recommend
Definitely do it.
Do it.
Just be super well prepared and just get out there.
And enjoy.
Yeah.
We'll do it again for sure.
See ya.
See ya. Thanks for watching.